So here's the thing. We talk about the measurement phase, and it's all about metrics, right? And understanding those metrics, whether they're quantifiable or qualitative, but understanding them a way to evolve your process or your organization. Now, we talked about this briefly, but normally the measurement phase is created during the define phase, and you're kind of putting these two together to gather data and track those metrics. In this, we talk about data collection, process mapping, establishing a baseline of performance, and statistical analysis using various different tools. Throughout this course, we'll use Excel as a statistical analysis tool. And I'm going to show you some tips and tricks along the way, and as well as some shortcuts to help improve your process. We'll get into that a little bit later in several other videos, but let's move forward. So the measurement phase in Lean Six Sigma is very crucial for collecting and analyzing the data to evaluate the performance of a current process. Now, we identified this in the define phase, but now you're kind of looking at a holistic approach to it by combining several different key aspects. Now, in this, I need you to know there are two types of data. Technically, there's more, but for this level, we have qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative data is going to be descriptive and is categorized by non-numerical information. It provides insights on the quality or characteristics of what's being studied, right? So if I say qualitative analysis, this is where I'm doing surveys, feedback forms. Now in quantitative analysis, it's data that's numerical and can be measured or counted. It's used for statistical analyses and often involves using mathematical calculations or statistical software. There's all kinds of different programs out there. The main two that I focus on when I do organization consulting and things like that is going to be Minitab or Excel, right? I use Excel in this program because it's accessible, it's affordable, and everybody should have it as a working professional in the industry. I say that because that kind of brings a key point. If you don't measure something, how can you manage it effectively? And that's the purpose of the measurement phase, is how do we manage something and how do we continually evolve it based off of the benchmark or the baseline measurement we have. Qualitative, right? It's used to get not easily measured data such as satisfaction, surveys, interview questions, those type of things. The characteristics of it is it's not easily manageable or measurable. It includes data such as opinions, descriptions, observations. And what we can do is convert that data into quantifiable data through various different techniques. If you think about it, if you had 5 people that had the same category of issue, then you could translate that over into a quantitative aspect. It's used in the define phase for understanding customer needs. We talked about that voice of the customer, right? This is a feedback that you can get that customer input. It helps in identifying the root cause of defects during the analyze phase because we can use those metrics to draw assumptions or a hypothesis that kind of guides our journey through continuous improvement. The next thing we're going to talk about is quantitative, right? It's used to get performance metrics, things that can be measured or counted. The characteristics here, this is where I said there's a little bit more to this, but you can have this as discrete or continuous. Discrete would be something such as like the number of defects or the number of items produced. Continuous data, also known as variable data, is measurements that can include fractional decimals such as time, weight, length. Now, for this course, just reference them as qualitative and quantitative. I don't think, that the statistical aspect of this should be super difficult for you because these are just basic arithmetic. And we'll go over some practice measurements later. Now, Quantitative data is used to measure the performance metric. It helps in identifying various variations in the process, and it's used to create such charts such as a pie chart, histogram chart, cold control chart, a bar graph, and other statistical tools. Now, the core concept here for yellow belts, you need to be able to differentiate between what is quantitative data and qualitative data to guide your approach to data collection, analysis, and problem solving. You know, if you think about it, if you have the right type of data and you understand it, then you can continually evolve it and refine your process. Now, some examples I have: qualitative is on the left, customer feedback, interview transcripts, observation notes, and open-ended survey responses, focus group questions. I think the biggest one is focus group and customer feedback, right? Getting that feedback from the customer is so crucial to improving and evolving our process. Quantitative data is going to be on the things such as production count, the number of units, defect rates, what are the time measurements. You know, we talk about that during value stream mapping, those metrics such as cycle time, takt time. You know, talking about the sales figures or monthly revenue. And then lastly, customer satisfaction scores, as you can use those as quantifiable measurements. So overall, in summary, we talked about the glimpse into the measurement phase, and we started with the qualitative and quantitative aspects. In the next video, we'll talk about a normal distribution and what that means and how you can use it as a Six Sigma professional. See you soon.